In order to create a Turnitin Direct Assignment, you must first navigate to a content area. From here, hover over Assessments and choose the Turnitin Direct Assignment option. Here you will fill out the assignment details, like the assignment name, the assignment description. You can change the submission method from Allow Both to File Upload or Text Submission. You specify the number of points for the overall grade, the number of parts that the assignment will have. We strongly recommend you leave this as 1. You then enter the start date, which is when the students can begin submitting to the assignment, the due date, which is when they have to turn in the assignment by, and the post date, which is the date after which the students will see any comments or grades. Scrolling down, you can choose to exclude small matches by either a word count or percentage, specifying the minimum value to exclude. You can choose whether or not to exclude bibliographic material and whether or not to exclude quoted material. You can use an E-Rater grammar check, and when you choose this, you have several to select from. You can choose to submit to the standard repository. This will add the students' papers to Turnitin's database. You can also choose to not have the papers added to the repository. You can choose whether or not you're going to check the papers against papers that are stored in Turnitin, whether or not you're going to check against the internet, and whether or not you're going to check against the journals and publications that Turnitin has access to. You can choose whether or not to reveal grades immediately, which will ignore the post date, but the post date will still apply to comments. You can choose to ignore Turnitin grades, which means the Turnitin grades will not be pushed to Blackboard, so we strongly encourage you to not change this from no. We strongly recommend you use grade mark on so you can mark up the paper. And in the grade format, you can choose to show either percent or points. For the report generation, you can have it immediately, but reports can be overwritten until due date. What that means is students can keep submitting their paper. It will overwrite the previous version, and a new originality report will be generated each time. You can say immediately first report is final, so the first time they submit, it's generated and it's done. Or you can say on the due date, generate the originality report. You can choose whether or not to add this to a Blackboard group, which again, if this is not a group assignment, you shouldn't change that. Choose the grading schema, which again, we recommend you leave a score. Choose whether or not the students will be allowed to view the originality reports, whether or not you will accept late submissions. The date for a late submission will be colored in red, so you know that it was late, and whether or not you want to set everything you've changed here as the system defaults for you when you create a new assignment. Once you have all these things set, you click Create Assignment, and the assignment will be created for you. Once the assignment is successfully created, you will be dropped into the submissions inbox for the assignment, where you can see things like the start date, due date, and post date, the grade total. You'll have access to the tools that are available, and you'll see all of the students who are enrolled in your course. If you need to make any changes, you can click on the Modify button here. If you need to submit a paper for a student, you can choose Submit over here.